and today I'm going to be talking about the Mockingjay Part 2 movie. That's the third movie in the whole Hunger Games series, you know, the last one. So if you haven't watched it, I would suggest you do not watch this because I don't know how to make it non-spoilery. But pretty much, I guess, if you haven't watched the movie, it was great. You should watch it, especially if you watched the other Hunger Games movies. I mean, if you already watched the other Hunger Games movies, then you're probably going to watch this one because the last one ended on some really, I need to watch the next movie terms. For the people who watched this movie, I'm gonna go talk about my feelings about it now. 1, 2, 3, go! I really liked the opening where she had her horse's voice and it looked so real. I don't even know how they made her voice just so bad, but I was like, oh my gosh, ew, because I can't do stuff like that. But I saw that and I was like, oh, poor Katniss, she got strangled and I am Katniss Everdeen or something like that. I was really sad. And then she saw Peeta. The way that they did him was so well. He wasn't too gone, but he was still not there, and he was still a mutt. But what I like what they did with Peeta was how he gradually changed throughout the book. It wasn't a sudden thing. He was still acting like, I hate you, Katniss, and I see you as a mutt, but now I'm starting to see, wait, they did this to me. This isn't my actual thoughts. I understand that I'm being controlled. Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to kill me. Wait, don't kill me. Oh my gosh, I'm not really that normal, but it's okay in the end. That whole little character development change, I thought that was really great, and how he gradually changed over time. And then also throughout the movie, you were able to see Katniss Everdeen change as a person, because though the Hunger Games already scarred her, but this war is scarring her even more, especially what happened with Prim. In the beginning of the movie, she was like, oh, we can't just kill helpless civilians. But then in the end of the movie, she was all like, okay, let's do the whole Hunger Games with capital children. And when I was reading this in 6th grade, I was like, Katniss, that's so stupid. But now when I'm watching the movie, I understand why she did that, because Katniss Everdeen is not supposed to be the perfect protagonist. She is supposed to be scarred, and a lot of the things that she does are affected by emotions, and it's not what the reader's supposed to want, because it's not the correct thing to do, but she does it because the games have changed her so much and no one actually wins in the games. And so I now understand, after several years, why she says, let's kill capital children. I mean, I personally still don't like it, but it still goes with her character. And actually, the way that she is now after Prim has died, if she had said no to capital children, it might not even go with the type of character that she is now. But also in the end, you have Peeta and Katniss getting together, and I'm so sorry about this. I just personally believe that Jennifer and Josh don't look cute together. I don't see them in a romantic relationship type of thing, because I think that they have a really strong friendship, but I can't see them dating. So then that epilogue and then that last scene where she was in his bed, it just felt awkward to me. I like Katniss and Peeta's relationship. It's definitely what they need from each other, because they both stable each other out. Another thing that I noticed out in the middle of the war, from when they're running from the freaking light things that laser people, and then the crumbling ground, and then how Peeta's like, leave me behind, and Katniss kisses him in order to get him back into you need to stay strong and stuff. And while we're reading the book, even while thinking about it right now, I feel in the book it was that's kind of stupid, you just kissed him in the middle of a battle. But then in the movie, honestly, it made sense to me. She didn't kiss him just to kiss him. She kissed him to you need to wake up, dude, we have to go. There are peacekeepers and the ground is tumbling before you. You need to go, you need to wake up, and this kiss will probably wake you up. It's not the whole I love you kiss, it's a whole we gotta go. Adios, man! I just remember complaining about that scene, but then in the movie I think they pulled it off pretty well. And another thing that I think they pulled off really well in the movie was the whole battle in the city. All of those effects were just so good and so cool, and there was so much death, and this is so much more action-y than previous movies. It was 100-fold more action and brutal, and actually I had to look away the entire time they were underground because I knew that Finnick was gonna die, so I didn't want to see that. That was so sad when Finnick died. But what Katniss did was correct. The fact that she dropped the bomb so he wouldn't suffer, and then she would kill a lot of them on their own. I think they did a really good job with the mutts. They had the whole, they were people. I was expecting dogs, but then I remembered that in the books or something, they were actually people, but then they had their faces to look like people Katniss had known. But then I like the change that they did in the movie, how they're all just ew, and they're not dogs. The mutts are just so creepy. All of the games that the Capitol did was so cruel, but you know that they have to be cruel, so once you get over that, it was this is so cool, and It is the 76th Hunger Games, and that is one thing that I really, really like. It made it clear that to Snow, this was a game. People's lives, his city, it was a game. It was the Hunger Games, it was the 76th Hunger Games, and they turned it into an arena. I thought that was so great. But of course, in that battle scene, there was just a lot of death. And then especially in the end, where they finally dropped those bombs, that, oh my gosh, you just could just see Prim. You saw her like, oh my gosh, look up, and then boom, explosion. And then you had like the hope. I saw what was gonna happen, but just imagine like for the people, the kids, like imagine for the Capitol people, they had to pull their children up, and then they're like, oh, they're gonna be safe, at least I'm probably gonna die, but at least my children will be safe. But no, what President Coin did was just so cruel to kill those kids. Actually, for a while when I was reading the book, I had this like conflict. Did President Snow do it or President Coin? But now I'm pretty sure President Coin did it, and that's just because I'm bad at reading books and I didn't comprehend things. And it probably was supposed to be obvious that President Coin did it, but when I was reading the book, I was like, it could go either way, really. Like, I don't know what to believe because both people are pretty awful. I do like how, like, they did address the part in just a dystopian, how if you have one leader, you're gonna take them from power, and then Coin just steps up and then gets that power for herself. Like, I like how they acknowledge that it's gonna happen again. And though I don't like the idea of another presidency or another democracy, because democracy does have its problems, they did acknowledge the fact that there is a bad problem, corrupt thing that will just happen in human nature, and your history will repeat itself if you don't like fix it. I thought the killing scene was gonna actually be on the mansion's balcony in the end, but it wasn't, so maybe I misread that, but I honestly don't remember a lot of things about the book, but I'm pretty sure this was a pretty accurate book to movie adaptation. That was just so, there was so much death, I had to look away so many times. When they were playing the credits, I was like, aw. Honestly, I didn't get very emotional in the end of the movie because I'm not as emotionally attached to the Hunger Games as I am to Percy Jackson or something, so if they did accurate movie adaptations to Percy Jackson, then I'd probably cry at the end of that. But at the end of this, I was just like, okay, that's the end of yet another dystopian. What's the next one? Allegiant? Come on. Let's go. I'm ready. But it was all still like a really good movie, and all the actors were just really great, and then I love Effie, and then them saying goodbye. How can you go call District 12 your home when Prim has died, and then all of your district is killed except for the freaking place that the Capitol like purposely did not bomb? And do you still call that your home? I wouldn't be able to go back there and call that my home. Apparently though, there's one part that Petrarch, he had to actually act, but you know how he had died at the end of Mockingjay 1? Apparently there was one scene in Mockingjay 2 that he had to do, and it was a big scene apparently, but was that the one where it was with Haymitch? Like Haymitch was reading a note from Plutarch? Or no, is that not the scene? Or did they actually do all the scenes correctly? I'm not sure. I still have to look in the book for that. I think that's all of my opinions on the Mockingjay Part 2 movie. So thanks for watching. Bye! Hello, I'm Lannie. Today I'm going to be talking about the Allegiant movie. Nope.